Thank you very much, sir. It's an excellent, for me, I'm a non-techie person, as you said, older generation or whatever you call. But
you're older generation.
You have made it very lucid and easy to understand. Really, thank you for that effort you have put in.
Okay. If there are any questions, I'm prepared to answer.
You have come up with a very simple language, and also all required elements are covered. It went on, and you prepared a slide presentation, so it was more visible and easy to understand. Really, thanks and salutation for putting that effort to see that the people here in the Leeds are much benefited with your rich experience, and it talks about so much, not only about the 5G, how much care you take and how much specific searching the details and removing the unwanted, because to reduce the whole thing to the small presentation is a big challenge, because the subject is such a huge and vast, but you have been very good to bring it to the, that speaks about your experience also. All salutation. Thanks. I think questions will come from many people who are technology savvy people, more and more questions. So that will improve our appetite on this subject. And do you have any idea, for example, today the latest phone are so heavily priced, and 1,50,000, 2 lakhs, like the mobile phone. So once it comes to 5G, you said you have to throw these current equipment, gadgets. How the pricing of these equipments, these gadgets will go? Any idea?
That is just like any other product. The company which makes the mobile phone, he makes an estimate of how many people will be wanting to buy it. And he makes an assessment saying, if I keep it around 30,000, should I increase it further? Because he makes an estimate of the demand of people wanting 5G. It is quite a professional assessment which they make. I won't be able to comment how they do it, how they make an assessment and do the pricing, but it is essentially to capture the market. But 5G mobile phones can be expensive, as you had mentioned, especially branded ones.
Yeah, thank you.
iPhone or something like that, if you want to go, it'll be expensive. Anybody else? I had a friend of mine who was in the audience called Ipe. I don't know whether he's still there.
Yeah, we saw his name. I think he must.
Sir, I have a question. Hi, sir. Raghu. Yeah. You mentioned about already many countries, 6-7 countries having already implemented 5G.
Yeah.
What is their experience? You mentioned about option 1, option 2, option 3. How have those countries gone, especially with regard to the high band of the 5G?
See, high band of 5G has been limited to only places where there are a large number of simultaneous users possible. Let us say you want to offer a facility for in a huge convocation hall, and you want to create a hotspot for people to utilize that so that they can get a video streaming done, or in a stadium, or in some other meeting. So people have been utilizing these services only for such functions and limiting the amount of exposure of radiation in that area. So if you have a stadium, let us say it is possible for you to design that towers in such a way that maximum number of people get coverage, and you put the towers in a place with minimum obstruction, etc., which is not possible in a residential area. In a residential area today, you think there is no structure is obstructing it. in 1 or 2 years, you'll find something coming and obstructing that.
Exactly. You can't predict how the growth will take place.
Yes. So the Ericsson's study for India says 40% of people will move to 5G from 4G in 5 years from now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm looking for some electronics people asking me some question which I'm withholding, and I'm very keen to share that.
Kannan, this is Sri Kumar from your batch.
Hi, Sri. Hi, Sri.
How are you? How are you? I have put one question.
Yeah.
It is a irrelevant subject.
No, everything is relevant.
Actually, New Zealand had developed a wireless transfer system for electrical power.
Sorry?
New Zealand
Yes.
have developed a wireless transfer power for electrical power.
Okay.
With the wireless communication.
Yes, that's right.
For electrical power.
Right.
Could you tell about anything about it if you have any idea about it?
No, I won't be able to tell you that that detail at this point of time, how they are able to. But you know, it is something very similar to you have many charging circuits which are similar to this for your mobiles.
Yeah.
Right. But they are low power applications.
Low power,
but I'm not aware of what New Zealand has done. But it's a good thing which you told me. I'll note down and I will come back to you. Sri Kumar, I have your email. I'll number with me. I'll come back to you how they have been able to set up this
but
power distribution.
Still they have not. Still they have not succeeded. I think so. Only for shorter distance. Maybe in future they may develop.
I will study this. I'll come back to you. It's an interesting topic. All right.
Anyway, you have explained everything about 5G in a very simplified way.
No, I have not explained one important thing. I'm waiting for Ayub to ask me that question.
Okay.
I have got one question.
Yeah, that's a question I'm waiting for.
Not necessarily, actually. Okay. What I was thinking is, you said this 13 cities probably by end of this year or early next year. But do you think these telecom companies will be able to meet up those requirement of?
So let us look at it. It's a very. Thank you.
I also heard that spectrum itself is not allotted.
No, spectrum auction is end of July. It may get postponed, but as it stands, it is supposed to be end of July. It's a good point. Let us say we start in low band.
Okay.
Low band frequency is similar to 4G.
Okay.
Similar to?
Nearer to 4G.
But the tower equipment and antennae are going to be different for 5G.
Yes.
You have led me to the question which I wanted you to ask me. So allow me to show a slide because this is a very important aspect for an engineer. Just let me share the screen with you.
Do I think it's true? I don't know, but I mean, that's the speculation.
Okay, look at this. Look at this slide. The 4G and 5G difference in the tower you see in the radiation pattern of 4G and 5G. 5G uses a large number of small antennae, very small antennae. That is what I told you is MIMO, multiple input, multiple output. What happens is they use a technique called new radio technology. Let us say you're transmitting a video. You're downloading a video. When you want the download, the tower will break the video into many parts, many data packets. And the main video will break it down to many parts. Okay? Then the tower equipment will transmit data packets through different antennae. at different frequencies at the same time. So your video, which is coming earlier in a sequential manner, now has been broken down to parts and transmitted at different frequencies through different antennae to your mobile. Because you asked for the download, it has come to you. Your mobile will be able to reconstruct the film. Reconstruct the video from the parts it receives. Okay. So what happens is, you look at the mobile set, the new type of antennae to receive signals, which are transmitted by MIMO antennae, will be reconstructed by your mobile, and you will get the video in one piece. So video comes to the tower, it breaks it down, sends the pieces to you, your mobile will put it together, and then you say, I've got a fantastic download speed. Actually, it came in pieces, and you put it together. That is why it has been able to get a higher download speed. Okay, apart from some software being faster, the processor is faster, so it's able to do the operations. But please remember, this capability is not there for upload. When you want to upload from your mobile something on YouTube, this speed is not there for you. Why? Because MIMO antennas are not there on your mobile. MIMO antennas, which are small antennas, working on different frequencies, are only in the tower. That is why they say 5G has got fantastic download speed. It's correct. We are all interested only in download, but upload does not take place. But what has happened now, they have been able to develop a mobile with 6 or 8 antennae. A mobile with 6 or 7 antennae, they have been able to make, and trials are going on. When that happens, your upload also will become fast. So I want to tell you that today, the technology which is used in the tower for 5G can be decoded and utilized only in a 5G handphone, because they had to put together all the parts. That software is only in 5G and not in 4G. That is why your 4G set it stops working. Understood? It's a very interesting technology. It's called new radio technology, and they have been able to develop it. It's a very interesting concept. There's also some change in multiplexing and all that. I'm not going into that detail, but the fact is, people have been able to get higher download speeds, reduce data latency, etc., etc. And uploads is not so critical for someone. You can wait some more time to upload something to the internet. Yeah, have I answered your question?
Yes, sir. I think MIMO has been, it cannot be explained even better than what you have said now.
MIMO is multiple input, multiple output. That's it.
Very, very, very so nicely explained.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Sir,
Okay.
but one more thing, recently, almost all industries are hit by this chip shortage. Now, how are we going to cope up for this new technology upgrade for this?
See, first of all, your 4G set cannot become a 5G set.
No, not
No,
sets. I'm talking of even tower electronics.
Yeah. So the tower electronics there will be a problem of chip availability, right? And I'm sure the telecom companies are aware of this factor for making 5G operational. But the fact that you're going to make it only in 13 cities in India, the introduction will be slow. They will be able to get the market, and it comes as a kit. The entire electronics required comes as a kit. If you recall, in one slide I had said the processor Snapdragon kit. So the processor and all the associated IO peripherals, etc., comes as a kit, and there are manufacturers who are able to supply this. But at the moment, they require in smaller numbers only because of when you say a 5G let's say a 5G is coming to Ahmedabad. It doesn't mean the whole of Ahmedabad will have 5G. Some parts of Ahmedabad will have 5G. It will take time for the 5G
So the
to be.
number of towers are also going to be.
Towers will have to be, equipment has to be changed. Some place have a coaxial cable, they have to be changed to fiber optic cable. So what India is trying to do is all these antennae which are required for 5G, which I told you is MIMO, can be made in India. There are manufacturers in India who make this antennae. So they can easily make it. You're in Hyderabad, so you know those manufacturers are there. Then there are companies which are able to do the various test software in India. Test centers already been created by government. So there'll be an indigenous content, which is a good thing, but it can slightly delay the implementation of 5G, which anyway, it matches with the government's plan. Government's plan is only to introduce low band first and see how popular it is going to become. So the low band will have lower download speed, some 6 times or something like which I said. So people will be happy with 6 times than 4G. It's very good. But the actual thing is coming from MIMO, which you can't see. The MIMO is covered by a big sheet. So from a distance, it looks like a rectangular thing. But inside the rectangular enclosure, there are about 100 odd small antennae put.
So one more last question. Recently, the news about that Air India flight they diverted the flight in New York and some other American cities because they said that this is going to affect the onboard electronics. But what is the latest?
No, see, if you look at internal systems of an aircraft getting affected, unlikely. External systems on aircraft getting affected, they're already saying altimeter can get affected because it is operating in very close frequencies. So, but apart from, I'm talking of electromagnetic interference, but apart from that, if you have a Trojan horse or something which will come through your data spectrum, which will come from a satellite and get into your processor, that sort of hacking takes place, then it will be, I think a year back, I told the story to this group, what is MS-370's experience. It happens something like this from satellite.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Raju, good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening, Kannan. I was just wondering about the health hazard. As a doctor, I was more concerned about that, about 5G. And I was going through the literature. Few reports have come about the possible health hazards. And as you rightly said, since it's a non-ionizing type of radiation, the damage would be much less compared to X-ray or such things.
Yeah.
So obviously, already people are worried about brain tumors and other things with 4G. So basically, it is the effect of heat because 5G heats up the tissues, and the cells do get damaged by the heating, the human cells. And the literature says that it is the cell membrane which is mostly affected, and some of the proteins may be denatured. The intracellular proteins can be denatured, and the possible hazards are malignancy, again cancers, different sites. They're not very specific about what type of cancers and what are the sites where these cancers can crop up. Studies are, we need to have more studies on that. But one potential risk is possibly an increasing incidence of infertility. The reproductive cells, they are most vulnerable to temperature changes, and therefore the incidence and prevalence of infertility in that population might hike up. So these are the concerns. These are some of the concerns which are expressed in the medical field.
Yeah. Raju, thank you very much. It takes me back to 1972. We were in engineering college and I was doing electronics at the time. And a kilometer away from engineering college was the All India Radio transmitter in Trivandrum, in Karakotam. And one of the factors which we were taught while we were doing electromagnetic energy is that don't go near the transmitter, right? And those days there was a time when the All India Radio used to be off from air between 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock or something like that. He said, if at all you have to go very close to that place, do it when it is not on, when it's not radiating. So already asked, what will happen if you go close by? So the answer which came from the professor, I'm talking way back in 72, he says, chance of you having a child after marriage is less. Studies have proven that people who have been working in All India Radio or other, those days only All India Radio was only transmitted. FM radio has not come at that time. They said studies show that there is a linkage between number of children they have, their reproductive capability, or vis-a-vis their exposure. In this is a very common thing on board ships. People are not allowed to go upper deck when radars are transmitting, but that is not only focusing on the reproductive part of it, but is general health, that people should not be exposed to high power electromagnetic radiation. A lot of literature available saying that you should not use your mobile very close to your ears. Put it on a speaker and keep it 2 feet away from you on the table. These are suggestions which have come so that you don't use your hold the mobile very close to your head. But it's a fact that it exposes people to electromagnetic radiation.
Yeah, one technique may be lead impregnated innerwears so that your radiation hazard, because all the technicians in the X-ray units, they wear the lead aprons, lead impregnated apron to prevent the radiation hazard. So when you use a 5G mobile, maybe your innerwear should be held, lead impregnated, so that you are.
Raju, I just wanted to say, you leave out the high band of 5G.
Yeah.
Just keep it aside.
Yeah.
The low and mid band of 5G is very close to 4G.
Okay.
By way of electromagnetic radiation.
Right.
It is only by a different software technique and antenna, as I told you, technique, that they're able to give you a higher download speeds and less latency because of that, and satisfying the customer requirements and industrial requirements. So if you keep the high band away from consideration, then I think it is not going to get that much worrisome. What would happen in residential areas is the number of towers required will go up. And when the number of towers go up, the intensity of radiation in that area will also go up. So that is because the higher the frequency, the waves don't bend. So if you're limiting yourself to low and mid band of 5G, then the situation is not all that serious. But therefore, one has to be wary of it. And who monitors in our country the electromagnetic radiation from the tower? It is the Ministry of Telecom which is supposed to monitor and then keep a check on. And how is this done? Because there's a power setting inside the tower. You can increase the power, you can decrease the power, like your microwave. So when the testing comes, you'll reduce the power. And after he has gone, he'll increase the power. So I'm not very clear how effective a monitoring mechanism will work in this, unless there are some agencies which are doing this or some NGOs doing this. I'm not aware. But this is an area where public health concerns need to be addressed.
So, but for the mobile sets as it is, there's a system in place. by which it is now standardized that it cannot be more than so many milliwatts of power. And beyond that, those mobiles are not certified.
Yeah, mobile transmits energy from your portion to the tower, and the tower is transmitting much higher power, catering for the farthest man from the tower.
Yes, yes.
A tower has got a radius of 20 kilometers. He's putting out power to cater for that man who's 20 kilometers away.
Yes.
Right? Yes. While your mobile set, which is in your hand, doesn't handle that power which a tower handles. And tower handles focused beams. So it is intense.
What I said was, it is only with that certification we can sell mobiles in India.
Yeah, that is there, but that's by the telecom authorities. So yes. I hope these authorities or these institutions are really effective.
FSSAI and all, they have to certify that. Then only it can be.
So do they certify about the tower?
Tower is an issue.
That's it. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Especially,
I'm sure there must be somebody certifying the tower.
Yes,
it is by telecom regulatory authority. So how often they do it? Is it possible for the local operator to tweak it? I'm not very familiar. But
no, I think Kannan, in the days to come, I think each one of us should wear a sensor. And like the radiologist wears in the unit, the radiation cabin, they wear a sensor. And if the exposure goes beyond a critical factor, they have to stop their work, and they're provided compulsory vacation for about 2 to 3 weeks. So like that, each citizen in future will have to wear a sensor, which will clearly indicate the amount of exposure.
They should go on a vacation to a place where there is no mobile tower.
That's it, exactly.
And there is no mobile service.
Yeah, yeah.
I tell them to do that. They will not go on vacation.
Okay.
Good, thanks, Raju. Right. Any other questions? Yes, Vishwanathan.
Yes, sir. I have one question regarding health hazards only. From 1980s to that is last 40 years, this cancer risks are increased. So after coming to 4G, this can be a multiplied figure may be there because of this radiation, etc. May I correct to this assumption or not?
Yeah, you're correct, because not only because of 4G or 5G, more number of people are using it. So when you're walking on the road, you're exposed to radiation of another man who's using the mobile.
Yeah.
When you're traveling in a bus, you're exposed to radiation of the other mobile users in the bus or in a train. So when you're sitting at home, you're fairly protected, right? Unless the tower is on your terrace. But otherwise, you're fairly protected. But when you're in a public space, you're open to you're exposed to all the radiation which are happening from the other mobiles and the tower, from the tower to them. So there's very little immunity for that.
So just like our doctor suggests, we have to wear a chip. How far we will be able to absorb. If it is processed, we have to go for a vacation.
That's right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Can I leave the meeting? Hari, last word from you.
No, sir. Friday evening, very well spent, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Who is it? Raghu?
Yes, sir,
Kannan, GP here. Can I say a few words?
Yeah, GP. Hi, GP.
I and you are in Valsura in early 70s.
Yeah.
And there I have seen you as a faculty. You were very good, but now you have become the best. And for today's topic, you planted the KISS. That KISS is kept it simple and short. To explain such technical jargon, the nuances and the issues which are involved, absolutely brilliant. I enjoyed listening to you, and there is clarity, 100% clarity. Thank you very much, Kannan.
Thank you, GP.
May
Thanks
God-
a lot.
May God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Thank you very much. I'm happy that you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Anybody else? Can I close it?
Thank you,
Hari,
sir.
can I close it?
Yes, Kannan, please.
Okay.
Good night, sir. Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.
Good night. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye,
Bye.
Raghu.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Bye,
so much,
Raghu.
Kannan.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye.